Optimus is entering the part of the journey where the factory matters as much as the robot itself. Tesla is preparing pilot production at Fremont, not just to build a few machines, but to test the process that could eventually support a much larger ramp. That shift also comes with a major farewell. The Model S and Model X lines, which once represented Tesla's rise from startup to serious automaker, are now being moved aside for Optimus manufacturing. And the build-out does not stop in California. Tesla's automation teams in Germany, Toronto, and the Midwest are working on the specialized machines that could make large-scale humanoid robot production possible. The first real signal is coming from Fremont, where new footage appears to show Tesla preparing the early production setup for Optimus. A Bayesian report says the clip looks like the pilot line for Tesla's humanoid robot, which means this is not the final high-volume factory running at full speed yet. A pilot line is where Tesla proves the process, fixes assembly problems, tests tooling, and learns how to build Optimus more efficiently before pushing towards serious scale. Tesla's own Q1 2026 shareholder update supports the cautious version of this update because it lists California Optimus and Texas Optimus under construction, while also warning that installed capacity is different from actual production. So, this is not proof that Tesla is already building 1 million Optimus robots a year. It shows the ramp is taking shape, with Fremont being prepared for a line designed around that future target. But Fremont is not just another factory space Tesla found. These are the same lines that helped make the Model S and Model X, two cars that changed how people looked at electric vehicles. The Model S proved an EV could be fast, premium, and genuinely desirable, while the Model X pushed Tesla into luxury SUV territory with falcon wing doors, a massive glass windshield, and family practicality. Now Tesla is giving both programs a farewell, not because they failed, but because the company's center of gravity has moved toward autonomy, robotaxi, and Optimus. This moment works like a handoff. Tesla is turning one of its most historic EV production areas into the launchpad for its humanoid robot future. If Tesla reaches its goal of producing 1 million Optimus robots a year, how much do you think that could change the world? Comment below. Fremont may be where Optimus gets assembled, but the production backbone reaches far beyond California. Tesla VP Lars Moravi showed real footage from automation groups working in Germany, Toronto, and the Midwest, and these teams are building the advanced production systems that make robot manufacturing possible. In Germany, Tesla Automation, formerly Groman, brings deep experience in highly automated lines for batteries, electronics, and complex assembly. In Toronto, the former Hybar team adds high-speed precision work that can support actuator, joint, and electronics assembly. The Midwest adds another layer of manufacturing know-how for specialized production equipment. Optimus is not a simple product. Every joint, sensor, cable path, and hand component needs extreme accuracy if Tesla wants to build humanoid robots at serious scale. The next layer is the computing power inside Optimus, and this is where Tesla's AI-5 chip becomes a major part of the plan. Tesla has completed the tape-out for AI-5, which means the chip design has reached its final stage before samples are produced. The expected jump is huge, with roughly 8 times the compute of AI-4 and about 9 times the memory. Musk says one AI-5 can perform like an Nvidia H100, while a dual setup could reach Nvidia Blackwell-class performance at lower cost and power. Samples are expected in late 2026, with volume production around mid-2027. AI-4 may already be strong enough for cars, but Optimus needs more local intelligence so the robot can see, balance, move, and react on its own without depending on Wi-Fi. The physical design is also moving toward a more production-ready robot. At a keynote in Zurich, Tesla's Optimus program lead, Konstantinos Laskaris, showed a slide with the Gen 3 silhouette and described it as the first mass-manufacturable Optimus. That phrase points directly to Tesla's shift from research versions like Bumblebee and Gen 2 toward a robot that can actually be built at scale. The silhouette appears more human, with thicker forearms, smoother lines, and more refined hands that look closer to a real working humanoid. Engineers have described the design as a human in a superhero suit. Tesla still has not given the full reveal, because Musk says competitors study every frame carefully, but the direction is clear. Gen 3 is being shaped around usefulness, safety, reliability, and mass production. The real breakthrough in Gen 3 may come from the hand, because that is the part that decides how useful Optimus can be in the physical world. Tesla's new hand has 22 degrees of freedom, with 50 actuators spread across both forearms and hands, bringing the design closer to human-level movement and control. Walking is only one part of a humanoid robot's job. To work in a factory, Optimus has to pick up delicate objects, handle small parts, tighten bolts, and adjust items without crushing or dropping them. That is why Tesla is putting so much focus on dexterity. A smarter brain helps the robot understand the task, but the hand is what lets Optimus actually do the work. If a robot could pick up delicate objects, tighten bolts, and work beside humans, would you trust it in a real factory? Comment below. Musk's bigger vision for Optimus goes far beyond one production line or one factory job. He has described Optimus as a possible von Neumann machine, meaning a robot that could eventually help build more robots and expand production over time. That idea is extremely ambitious, but Tesla is starting with a more practical path. Optimus is expected to begin inside Tesla's own factories, taking on repetitive or dangerous tasks before any wider outside sale at an estimated price of $20,000 to $30,000. Musk has also claimed Optimus could one day generate more than $10 trillion and become bigger than Tesla's car business. That future is still a long way off, but Gen 3 is the first step toward testing whether the vision can become real. For that kind of scale, Tesla would need more than robot factories. It would need a massive and reliable supply of AI chips. That is where the reported terafab plan in Texas becomes important. Tesla is said to be working with SpaceX on its own chip foundry, with an investment starting around $55 billion and possibly rising much higher over time. The goal is to reduce dependence on outside suppliers and control more of the silicon stack behind FSD, Dojo, Optimus, Robotaxi, and Starlink. If Tesla wants millions of robots and autonomous vehicles running alongside huge AI systems, chip supply becomes one of the biggest limits. Terafab would be Tesla's attempt to build that foundation from the ground up. Above the chip supply layer, Tesla is also building the intelligence layer that could decide how Optimus receives and understands instructions. Grok 5 is now being trained, with versions reportedly targeting 6 and even 10 trillion parameters, while xAI's Colossus system in Memphis is built around more than 200,000 GPUs and is moving toward Nvidia Blackwell hardware. Musk has described Grok as an orchestration AI, which means it could handle broad instructions, while Optimus uses onboard compute for movement, balance, vision, and real-time decisions. So the stack starts to connect clearly. FSD gives Optimus vision, Grok gives it higher-level understanding, AI 5 gives it local brainpower, and Gen 3 gives it the body and hands to act in the real world. That is why the production line, the chip plan, and the hand upgrade are all part of the same Optimus push. What sounds more powerful to you? AI 5 inside the robot, Grok guiding the robot, or the new Gen 3 hands doing the real work? Tell me below. So, the real Optimus update is not just one robot walking into a factory. It is Tesla connecting production lines, custom chips, AI models, robot hands, and global automation teams into one bigger system. The boldest claims still need time, because pilot lines are not the same as full-scale output. But the direction is clear. Tesla wants Optimus to move from a lab project into a real factory worker. And once one company starts building humanoid robots this way, the bigger race is no longer about demos. It becomes about who can scale useful robots first. While we wait for Optimus Gen 3, Figure AI shocked everyone this month. Figure just proved who's really winning the humanoid race. Figure AI built one AI brain, Helix O2, that controls the whole robot, fully autonomous. It revealed a 7th-generation hand that can feel a touch as light as a paperclip. It unveiled Vulcan, a system that keeps Figure O3 standing even after its parts fail. And it built a new factory that now cranks out one robot every hour. Figure O4 is already designed and heading to the floor. While most of the robot world was busy waiting on Tesla, Figure quietly stacked 5 wins back to back. Let's go through all 5, and by the end you'll see exactly why this company is breaking away from the pack. First up, the brain. Figure calls it Helix O2, one AI model that controls the entire robot at the same time. The legs, the torso, the head, the arms, and every single finger, all run by one system instead of a stack of separate programs bolted together. Figure threw out more than 100,000 lines of handwritten code and replaced the whole thing with a single neural network. The payoff is full autonomy. Figure O3 can now walk to a dishwasher, unload it, cross a full kitchen, stack the dishes into cabinets, and then load the dishwasher again. 61 decisions in a row, 4 minutes straight, with no human touching anything. Normally, that is exactly where robots fail. One small mistake early on collapses the whole task. Helix O2 keeps track of the job and adjusts in real time instead of freezing. And here's the other half. Helix O2 can feel. Touch sensors in the fingertips pick up a force as light as 3 grams. That is the weight of a single paperclip. Would you trust a robot to handle your good glasses with a grip that gentle? Tell me in the comments. But the real proof came on a live stream. On May 14th, Figure put 3 Figure O3 robots, named Bob, Frank, and Gary, on a live feed sorting packages in a San Jose warehouse. The plan was 8 hours, just enough to prove one full shift. 8 hours passed. The stream kept running. 24 hours, 72 hours. Then day 7, day 8, day 9, still going. In the first 72 hours alone, the 3 robots sorted around 88,000 packages with no logged failure. Gary alone sorted around 10,000. When Gary's battery ran low, Gary walked to the charging station alone, and another Figure 03 took over the line. No human stepped in. Figure even ran a man versus machine contest, and a human worker barely won, by less than 1/10 of a second per package. You cannot fake any of that with editing. A short clip can hide the bad runs. A 9-day live stream shows every slip the moment it happens, and the slips barely came. Second move, the hand. And this is the one Figure is most proud of. The big idea here, dexterity is the single hardest problem in all of robotics. Plenty of companies can make a robot walk. Almost none can make a robot's hands work like yours. So while everyone else chased better walking, Figure spent 3 quiet years on hands. The new one is a 7th-generation hand on a 3rd-generation body. Read that again. The hand is 4 generations ahead of the robot wearing it. Each finger moves on its own. The thumb rotates across the palm and can reach the tip of every finger, the same trick that makes your hand so capable. There are more than 20 degrees of freedom packed in, palm cameras so the robot can see what its own fingers are doing, even when the head can't, and fingertip sensors that feel that same 3-gram touch. For comparison, Tesla's Optimus hand sits around 11 degrees of freedom today. Figure is past 20. If a robot can feel pressure lighter than a paperclip, would you let it handle glass in your kitchen? Drop your answer below. Third move, reliability. This one is called Vulcan, a robot that does not die when one part breaks. For years, the rule was brutal. A single bad joint in a humanoid's lower body meant the whole machine lost balance and collapsed. Task over. A human had to walk in and drag it off the floor. Vulcan ends that rule. With Vulcan running, Figure 03 can lose up to 3 joints or actuators and still keep standing, keep walking, and keep working. Figure proved it live. An engineer triggered a fake knee failure while Figure 03 was sorting packages. The robot did not fall and did not freeze. Figure 03 shifted its balance, changed how it moved, and limped, actually limped like an injured person, straight to the maintenance area on its own. A robot beside you loses a knee and just keeps working like nothing happened. Cool or creepy? Let me know in the comments. And here's why this matters so much. Figure wants lights-out factories, where robots run all night with nobody watching. That only works if a robot can handle its own problems instead of stopping the entire line every time something goes wrong. While Figure 03 is out sorting real packages, Figure has already finished designing the next robot. On May 13th, CEO Brett Adcock announced that the F.04, the 4th-generation Figure robot, has hit design lock. In plain terms, the design is finished and frozen, the parts are being ordered, and the robot is moving into pre-production. Adcock says F.04 is the biggest jump between generations the company has ever made, with the engineering pushed to a whole new level. Now think about the pace here. Figure 01, then 02, then 03, and now a locked-in 04, while Figure 03 itself is barely out the door. Most companies are still trying to perfect their first humanoid. Figure is already building its 4th. Fifth and final move, the factory. Because a brilliant robot you cannot build does not change anything. At its BotQ plant in California, Figure went from making 1 Figure 03 a day to 1 Figure 03 every single hour in under 120 days. That is a 24 times jump in 4 months, and more than 350 Figure 03 robots have already shipped out the door. The numbers behind it are wild. Custom factory software running across more than 150 workstations, over 50 inspection points along the line. End-of-line first pass yield already above 80% and climbing every week. The battery line hitting 99.3%. Over 9,000 actuators built. And every single robot gets pushed through more than 80 tests before sign-off, including burn-in sessions of thousands of squats, shoulder presses, and even jogging just to catch weak parts before they ever leave. This is the difference between a science project and a real company. Anyone can show one robot in a video. Building one an hour is a completely different sport. So put all 5 together. The brain with Helix 02. The hands 4 generations ahead. The reliability of Vulcan. The next robot already locked in. And a factory pumping out 1 humanoid an hour. That is not one lucky breakthrough. That is the whole stack, all moving at once. And that is exactly why Figure is pulling ahead of everyone right now. Which of these 5 updates impressed you the most? Tell me in the comments. After a 200-hour YouTube live stream where Figure 03 sorted packages in real time, Figure is now preparing its humanoid robots for massive retail warehouse deployment. Then Limex Luna walked onto a runway and proved humanoids can also become public-facing performers. This is the clearest sign yet that humanoids are leaving the demo phase and entering real-world deployment. But Boston Dynamics had a different message as Atlas started learning football. And Unitree just showed a robot that can understand, clean, and adapt inside a messy human space. Figure AI just made a massive move that could reshape the future of American retail. On May 26, 2026, the company signed a commercial agreement with Catalyst Brands to deploy humanoid robots across its distribution network. The first rollout will begin at Catalyst's Reno, Nevada Distribution Logistics Center, and this is a big step because Catalyst is only Figure's second major commercial customer after BMW. So, why is this deal such a big deal? Catalyst Brands is not a small retail company testing robots for fun. It was formed in early 2025 after Spark Group and JCPenney merged together. Today, Catalyst controls some of the most recognizable American brands, including JCPenney, Aeropostale, Brooks Brothers, Eddie Bauer, Lucky Brand, and Nautica. Altogether, the company operates around 1,800 stores and has nearly 60,000 employees across the US and Canada, with major backing from Brookfield Corporation and Simon Property Group. But the most important part is what Figure's robots will actually do. Its next-generation humanoids, likely the Figure 03 model, are expected to work inside the Joey pouch sorting system, where they will help with the difficult sorting and packing tasks that normally put heavy physical pressure on warehouse workers. Catalyst says this will allow human associates to move toward higher-value work, instead of spending long hours on the most exhausting warehouse jobs. And the timing makes this even bigger. E-commerce has created serious pressure on retail warehouses, and companies across the country are struggling with labor shortages. Figure says its robot can already sort packages at near-human speeds, and its demos have shown more than 200 hours of autonomous operation. Now look at the money behind Figure. The company raised $675 million in Series B funding in 2024 at a $2.6 billion valuation. Then, in 2025, a $1 billion Series C pushed its valuation close to $39 billion. Its investors include Nvidia, Microsoft, Intel Capital, and Jeff Bezos. Figure even moved away from OpenAI to build its own Helix Vision language action model. And behind all of this, Brookfield's connection to both Figure and Catalyst may be the key. If the Reno deployment succeeds, Catalyst could eventually expand Figure humanoids across its massive retail network, creating a new blueprint for how major retail companies use humanoid robots.